Welcome. How's everyone doing? Let me know if you can hear me. I see the hearts. I think that means you can hear me. I caved and my stubbornness has gone, and I am using my microphone and not using my computer audio. Thanks for letting me know that the audio is good today. We'll talk about that in just a second. Let's see who's here. Hello, Nicole, with the cold faces. Yes, it was, when I woke up this morning, it was negative 11 Fahrenheit. Ooh. And we don't have the best windows or doors in our house, and there's literally ice inside the windows, and like the front door handle was iced over inside. It's yeah, minus 11. It's crazy. I think the high today is gonna be like 3 degrees. I'm choosing to stay inside. Even my dogs, normally in the morning they'll run around for like 10 minutes, you know, go into the neighbors' yards and whatever. And this morning, as soon as they did their business, they're right back at the door. Like, we're ready to come in. So yeah. How's the weather? Please tell me about your warm places. Let me live vicariously through you. Jackie says greetings and happiest holidays to all. Bonnie, they were right about the weather, but I'm here. They predicted a lot of snow for us, and they predicted like over a foot, I think. I don't know. I was talking on Wednesday that I don't listen to forecasts because this is what happens. They predicted like over a foot, and there's a dusting over my driveway. Anyway, Bridget, good morning. I love that name. I used to work with a Bridget. I miss her. Katie, good morning from the North Georgia mountains. That sounds wonderful. Okay, and you get the sounds great. All right, maybe I'll just use the microphone from now on. I actually put thought into it, and I have it placed in a place where it's not bothering me. Christine, hello to the tribe. Oh, is that a happy Hanukkah? Is Hanukkah going on right now? I think it is. Happy Hanukkah for those who celebrate Hanukkah. I don't know much about it. Robin, good morning. Allison, good morning. Catherine, good day. Welcome, welcome. Jackie says negative 18 with the wind chill. I'm here too, Jackie, and oops. My chat jumped. We have decent windows. Oh, interesting. Yeah, you also have ice on the inside. It's crazy. -4 where Nicole is. Okay, it's 40 right now and rainy. It's supposed to be down to 5 by tonight. Well, get ready for some ice over there. Raining and then freezing over. Maggie, it was -40 Celsius for me all week here. I have to do the conversion. I'm not so great at Celsius either. I know that our freezing is 0 Celsius, which makes sense. So oh yeah, I bet that's really, really, really cold. Helen, beautiful 52 degrees in California. Even that's cold, but that sounds nice. Katie, I thought I was freezing with 10-degree weather. We're supposed to get snow, but didn't get any. I also feel like once the weather is below like 20 degrees, it's all the same. It just sucks. Sharon, hola, how's everyone doing today? Well, I'm planning to go to the beach on Monday, sunny here in Puerto Rico. Love it, enjoy that. Andrew, good morning from Virginia. Welcome, Andrew. Bonnie can't use her Zen Den today, it's not insulated. What about some space heaters? You could lay a bunch of blankets down. Those foam mats, like workout mats, like the foam ones, they're like the puzzle pieces. We use those when we ice fish. We lay them on the ice and then our feet don't get cold. Who would have thought, you know? Christine, we're getting Arctic air after flooding rain. Concerned about the ice. Mother Nature, huh? She's got some stuff in store for us today. Contraire, go to 70 degrees in Alaska or Antarctica. It's not 70 degrees there right now, is it, Helen? Oh, 70 below. Oh, okay, yeah. I get what you're saying. Anyway, let's talk about what's going on in the skies today. Oh, before we do that, is anyone else feeling combobbled. Like, not thought-wise, and I don't know if it has anything to do with the sleep that I got last night, but so I pull tarot cards for myself every morning, and I always journal about them, and today I had like 15 spelling mistakes as I was writing, and most of it was with the letter O, so that was interesting. Like, I would write like to, like T-O, instead of writing of, and other things. And even yesterday I caught a misword. I meant to write disappointment, but I wrote victory instead. And like, I don't know. And I caught myself like over and over. All right, Nicole's feeling rejuvenated, so that's good. Katie, Allison, Jennifer, yeah. Doing that nonstop for a week. And, you know, like, you can attribute it to Mercury retrograde shadow, because word salad, absolutely. Mercury will be retrograde next week, and so we're in the shadow period right now. However, this doesn't normally affect me in this way, so I feel like it's something different. Oh, today's too tough for the Zenden. Yeah, I can imagine. It's really, really freezing out. Yeah, and then how was everyone's solstice? You guys know that I love to put my rose-colored glasses on, and I look at everything through the lens of, like, oh, this is for growth, this is great, let's do this. I had a terrible day on Wednesday. Is combobbled even in the dictionary? Probably not. It's probably in the Jacqui's Mind dictionary. Yeah, but on Wednesday, I mean, I got into an argument with my husband in the middle of the day, and that just, like, ruined my mood. And then I sat on the couch for a good 6 hours and did absolutely nothing. And I had a whole to-do list in front of me. And then I talked with one of my girlfriends yesterday, and she said that she experienced like the exact same situation. She and her boyfriend got in an argument, and then the rest of the day was just, nope, not doing anything. So yeah, and I wonder if that's affecting everyone else here too. Jennifer says, my veil was lifted and experienced things that set me off in a bad way. Was it bad, or was it in there? You know, I physically felt my vibration go down that day, but I allowed myself to do it, you know? So I noticed myself like going into like old thinking patterns. I went back and I read my journal from years ago, and I just like, I allowed myself to put myself in that time when I wasn't the most highly evolved consciousness that I am right now. And I guess here's me like giving a real life example of what I preach all the time. Allow yourself to look at your shadow, but don't identify with it. You know, I was able to like read the way that I was thinking years ago before I was into all of the spiritual stuff. I was able to like big sister myself almost. I was reading like the choices I was making. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? But it was an interesting experience because I was aware of what I was doing. Does that make sense? I love you too, Helen. Solstice was a bit meh. You felt that, Allison. Sulking is the funk. Okay, my son passed out right before school and ended up having the flu. He's feeling better now, but I woke up this morning feeling under the weather. Yeah. Elisa, Wednesday was hard. Nicole sat and didn't do much as well. Jennifer, it was a learning lesson, so in a way, good. It just is. It happened. The more I detach myself from labels, the easier life gets, the less rule-based life gets. You know, I'll be honest. So I had that argument with my husband. It was over the phone because he was at work and I was at home. And we hung up the phone and I had so much anger. And I'm like, how do I get this out without hurting anyone? And I screamed as loud as I could. I didn't want to freak out the neighbors, so I like muffled it. I put my hands over my face. But then afterwards, like it was such an emotional and energetic release that like the bridge of my nose was tingling for 10 minutes. And then I came upstairs and I was like, okay, I'm good. That was it. But I was just like so angry and I was like, what can I do? So I threw an egg on the ground. You gotta smash stuff sometimes. But in that moment, I knew like I don't want to act like this forever. I know that I have this anger and it needs to be expressed in some way. And I was even trying to think like, what else can I do with this anger? What can I do with this anger? And it was difficult to come up with at the time. But the importance of not saying like, I had a bad day, like that was a bad decision, you know? Just knowing like I experienced anger, I thought of a way to express it, and then I felt just boom the rest of the day. It was okay, I love it. Eggs are $4.50 a dozen here. Plates would be cheaper. I have pets that poop out eggs. So that was oh, I love it. Helen says this morning I've experienced release. Bonnie says that was excellent. Interesting, Katie. I started out super positive and watched myself decline vibrationally through the day. I love all of that. I have too many eggs and never thought of that. Yeah, you ever get that feeling where you just want to like throw something? You just want to like break something, but like I was still aware of my actions, you know? It wasn't like I wasn't in the red. I knew I'm angry, I want to hit something, I want to throw something, but I don't want to ruin anything. So, you know, here's some eggs. And then my dogs got to eat them, so that was cool. You said you pull energy from Paulson when you argue. That hits hard. It's the same at this house. Good for you to process as best you could. Thanks, Bonnie. That was, yeah, those are still things that I'm like embarrassed about talking about sometimes, but I'd rather share what I have done in order to help you guys, you know, learn from my experiences. So we had on Tuesday, Jupiter moved into Aries. That's a new sign. That's a new beginning. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Good morning, Jackie. We're just getting into the astrology today. So Tuesday brought us a new cycle of Jupiter's transit. Jupiter, the biggest planet of abundance, expansion, right? Oh, there we go. Maybe Jupiter was expanding the fire in all of us, you know? We can choose to aggressively act out, or we can choose to shut down. Breaking dishes is really satisfying. Buy some at Goodwill and have them ready. I love it, Helen. But then I have to clean it up. So Tuesday is a new beginning. Jupiter is starting his new cycle through the zodiac. Wednesday, new beginning, it's a new season. We had the sun entering Capricorn, we had the winter solstice. Rage Room, Kay, they just built one across the street from us, like over the main road, so maybe I should have called them up that day. How much money do you need? And then another new beginning, today is the new moon. Today is a new moon at 1 degree of Capricorn. The new moon has already happened. It happened about 4 hours ago. And this is, I didn't mention it last new moon, but we have 5 new moons in a row that are starting at 1 degree of their sign. So today is the 2nd. So last month we had a new moon in Sagittarius at 1 degree of Sagittarius. Today is the 2nd new moon, 1 degree of Capricorn. And then we will have January, February, and March. And like, holy cow, the new moon in March is the day after the spring equinox and everything that all the other astrologers are talking about. And like, I could see it, but I haven't put it into words yet. But like, March, guys, oh my gosh. So just hang in there with us. But let's talk about today. So new moons are about fresh starts, right? Making a new plan, a new intention, planting a new seed, right? Deciding to take a new path. I'm ready to, Nicole. And Helen, thank you for just putting that number 5 in there, because that helped me remember 5 in numerology, in tarot. 5 is about like temporary setbacks. It's about a time of change. So having 5 new moons in a row at the 1st degree of their sign, I feel like this is a huge, monumental, like repetitive newness for us. Like, we have these 5, this little snippet of change, because 5 is the number of change, temporary, right? Things might be difficult for this time, and then that's helping us to usher in the newness. 5 of these new moons in a row giving us new beginnings at the first degree of the sign. It's just a brand new freshness and newness. Yes, Helen. March is when the retreat is. I love it. I intuitively picked the dates for that retreat. I knew that Pluto was moving into Aquarius at that time, but the more I look into the astrology of March of next year, I'm beyond excited for this women's retreat. Information is on my website if you want to check that out. So this new moon today is in Capricorn. And Capricorn is ruled by Father Saturn. So this gives us the energy of being regulated, being responsible, being dutiful, and also being modest, right? So not overreaching, reaching just far enough where we know that our limit is. So today's new moon is a time to set your focus on a practical, material, tangible goal. Earth, right? Capricorn is earth energy. And also one that would thrive with careful planning and strategy. Capricorn, Saturn energy. So this is a time of planning. Today you're in the planning phase, right? So if it's something that is, you want to start this new journey and you know it has 3,000 steps to it, don't let your mind get in the way. Today is just making the decision, setting the intention, digging in the soil and planting the seed, covering it up, and then we'll water it in the coming weeks. Today is about making your decision. And we have 5 planets in Capricorn to start this off. So we have the Sun, the Moon, Venus is in Capricorn, our love planet, Mercury, communication, is in Capricorn, and Pluto is in Capricorn. Pluto is the destroyer. Pluto is here to help you break down all the stuff that needs to get out of the way in order for you to usher in this newness. Rev, I'll get to your question in just a second. So all of this Capricorn energy, 5 planets are there to support us. This represents planning your biggest plans, right? This could be your time to envision what you want your 2023 to look like. I went on a little rant last time about how I don't make New Year's resolutions, I make new zodiac resolutions. However, if the new year feels right within you and you want to step into 2023 with a new plan, like this is the new moon to use in order to do it. So something that I like to do, I've done it for the last 2 years, is at the end of the calendar year, so right around this time, I will journal as if it's New Year's Eve of next year. So I will write in the present tense what 2023 has looked like, the things that I've achieved, the things that I have created in my life, the gratitude that I feel for everything that I have at this time of my life. And it's a wonderful practice not only to get your vision straight on what you desire for the next year, but it also helps just put that energy out into the universe. You're telling the universe, like, this has already happened, all right? So it makes it takes away some of that resistance in order for those blessings to come into your life. So I just reread the one that I wrote about the end of 2022, and is everything correct? No, but some of the stuff I wrote, like, it's what I validated throughout this year that I really do enjoy about the work that I'm doing. Like, I was writing about how much I love showing people that they have the power inside themselves to heal themselves and to learn their own lessons. And looking back at this last year, that's exactly where my focus has been. Mind you, I wrote this at the end of 2021, and then I just left it on my computer. You know, I wrote it, I typed it, and then I just left it there. I didn't really look at it. And it's like enlightening to see how much actually came true from it. So I suggest, writing a journal entry as if it is New Year's of 2023 into 2024, and just recapping your year. Every single, if you vibe with the 12 zodiac houses, you could use that as like a map, right? So you can write about the first house themes. This is how my personality is at the end of 2023. Second house, you could write, this is how my finances and my skills are, my communication, my family, my creativity, my health, my relationships, my taboo items, what are all of the higher thinking things, ninth house, that I've learned? What does my career look like? What does my role in society look like? And what does my spirituality side look like? So, yeah, there you go. I love it. We'll talk about Chiron in a second, but Rev asks, how does the planning go with Mercury going retrograde? So during Mercury retrograde is a time of reviewing. So I would recommend making your plans now. Mercury turns retrograde next Thursday, the 29th. So yes, we are in the shadow phase, right? So it might take you a few times to get the words on paper exactly how you want them now. I would make your plans before Mercury stations retrograde, so make your plans before next Thursday. And then throughout those 3 weeks that Mercury is retrograde, you can reread it and say, like, is this exactly what I want? Have things changed? Is this the right way that I want to go about it? So yes. Oh, I love it. You guys love the idea. Elisa loves that idea. Jackie loves it. Helen, great journal idea. Joe Dispenza, thinking. You already have it. Exactly, because if you keep telling the universe, I want this, you will forever be in the energy of wanting this. If you tell the universe, I'm grateful that I have this, you will be in the energy of being grateful that you have it. I'm talkative today. We've been here for 22 minutes and I haven't gotten to anything else, but stuff's coming out. I like it. This might be a long session today. What was I gonna say? Most of the stuff that we want in life also, it's already here. It's already in our lives. We're just busy thinking about how much differently we want it or how much more we want it. But when you allow yourself to focus on the gratitude of already having it, because you do already have it, the want goes away. Rev, know what I'm doing today? Helen, so truly when you resonate at I already have and experience that, then you do have it, absolutely. Rev, I always do plan before, it's the words that are shadowing. Smiles, take my time. Not too much time. Yeah, I get you. Helen, actually, of course, it is already here because we are living what we have created. Yep. So another thing that's happening today, that has already happened, our little asteroid friend Chiron. Chiron has been retrograde since July, and within like an hour or two of the new moon, Chiron has stationed direct. No sound? Do you have sound? Oh, everyone else here's fine? Okay. Thanks for letting me know. Let me know if you can still hear me because I changed the mic, but then I changed it back. And I just want to make sure that I'm still here. All right, thanks, guys. So, Chiron has been retrograde. He is now direct, and that happened right around the time of the new moon. So, Chiron is an asteroid, right? He's very far out. He's past Pluto. He has a very long transit. Now you're gone. Oh, no. Chiron doesn't want me to talk. What about now? Are we back with sound? Let's see if that did the trick. You're back. All right, thanks, Katie. Let's just see. Okay, so Chiron. I might just start over. Let me get back in the flow of this. Chiron also stations direct today. Has already happened. Chiron is now moving forward. Chiron impacts our energy, even though he's just an asteroid. He is the wounded healer. So he represents the wound that we were born into this incarnation with. And through the lessons that we learn from experiencing that wound, we heal others with our wisdom and our knowledge. So while Chiron was retrograde, July until now, so what is that, 5 months? Oh, look at that 5 number coming up again, right? July, August, September, October. Yeah, 5 months. And I do feel like within the last 5 months, I was talking a lot about shadow work, right? Because when planets are retrograde, when asteroids are retrograde, the energies turn inwards. So if we think of the energy of Chiron, the wounded healer, taking what you've learned from your pain and healing others, turning that energy retrograde, turning that energy inward, to me would look like healing ourselves, using our shadow, exploring our shadow to see how those lessons can directly heal ourselves. So if these last 5 months, if you've been drawn to shadow work, or if you feel like these hard lessons have been coming up over and over, that may have been the energy of Chiron retrograde, learning about our wounds, okay? But now Chiron is direct. So with this new moon, new beginning, right? Now we're coming back into that time where we take our wisdom to heal others. New moon in Capricorn happening on the same day. What material plans do you have for how to transmute your shadow? What are you going to create out of your pain? What are, the first thing that comes to mind is like art, like literally a painting or a poem or a song or something. But you can also create like a healing center, like big plans like that. How can you alchemize your pain and wisdom, right? These are two almost opposite things, this dark pain and this light wisdom. How can you blend that together to create light and healing? Aren't these energy transitions an ending of the last 10 years of karmic cycles and such? I'm trying to think. I mean, Chiron, no, because he's been retrograde for 5 months. I'm trying to think of where this 10 years comes in. So Jupiter, right? Jupiter is a big shift this week. Jupiter's orbit takes about 12 years. So Jupiter has gone all the way around the zodiac, and now he's back to the start. So this is starting kind of a new 12-year cycle as far as your abundance, your growth, your expansion. So that might be a big part of it. Let me think about what else. I mean, within the next few years, so we are in this huge transitional time, and I feel like if you guys are here listening to me, you've been hearing this from all over the place. Let me pull up a chart real quick just so I can get my thoughts straight. But there are, so all the outer planets, Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter changes signs once a year. No, not Jupiter, forget that. Pluto, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, they all take a really long time to go through each sign. And just get this chart. So next year, Pluto is moving into a new sign. Next year, also, Saturn is moving into a new sign. Saturn has been in Aquarius for the last 2.5 years. So Pluto's shifting. Pluto's been in Capricorn since 2008. So that's a monumental shift. Huge energy coming after, I can't do math right now, but 12 years, 2008 to 22, 23. Uranus will be shifting signs in 2026, but that's another big shift that's coming within the near future. And then Neptune, when does Neptune go into Aries? Neptune's at the end of Pisces right now, but all of those outer planets are in the process of moving on. So while they are, good morning, Eric from Seattle, while they're in the last few degrees of their zodiac signs, that's like wrapping things up. That's exposing a lot of nasty, like it's exposing a lot of the shadows of the ending of that sign, right? So think about when the planet orbits through those 30 degrees of that sign. In the beginning, it's a newness, like, ooh, what can we explore here? It has that cardinal energy. Then it gets to the middle of the sign, and then it's kind of, you know, all right, we're here, we're going with it. It's fixed, the fixed part of the sign, like, let's just be here and go with it. And then it comes to the last 10 degrees of the sign, and then it's like, let's just, you know, throw everything out the window. This is what we need to change, and before we go to the next version of ourselves, right? So when these big outer planets shift signs, they're like going into a new, they're like changing their outfit. You know, they're getting ready to take off the nasty ratted clothes that they've been wearing for the last however many years, and they're preparing their next outfit kind of thing. Pam Gregory has talked about that 10-year thing. Cool. Helen, now that all the planets are out of retrograde, watch out, except of course Mercury coming up next week. So they're not all out of retrograde yet. That's what January is for. So January has a lot of forward moving energy. Good morning, Carrie. And you're never late. This is just the time that your guides wanted you to be here. So so right now we have two, Eric, this will be on YouTube. I always put my replays on YouTube, so you can just follow my name. My channel is my name. So we have two planets that are retrograde right now. Mars is retrograde, so he stationed retrograde the day before Halloween. And then Uranus is retrograde. Uranus stationed retrograde at the end of August. So we still have a little bit of this like slow down, even Mars in retrograde, guys, like this energy, if you have been low energy, man, it's winter, right? Winter darkness pulls down our energy, but then Mars in retrograde pulls in our energy, and it's in Gemini, so like all this scatter mind. I think I want to do this, but I don't. And then Uranus has been retrograde, so Uranus is the planet of like unexpected shock, earthquake, freedom, newness, just, you know, the weirdo, the one that does whatever they want. They walk to the beat of their own drum. Uranus has been retrograde, so if you feel big shifts in yourself, I don't think that anymore. I don't believe that anymore. I don't want to act like that anymore. Like, that's the energy. Then in January, mid-January, Mars is direct. So mid-January, we get this like burst of energy again. It's still going to be scattered because it's still in Gemini. And then at the end of January, Uranus stations direct. So then we get this like forward moving, I'm going to change the world now, right? Like, I've gone in and I've changed myself. Now it's time to change the world. So yes. Let's pull some oracle cards, huh? I don't want to be here all day. Oh, thanks, Helen. That was good. My channel is my name. Helen's referring to me channeling spirit, source, extraterrestrials. I don't know. The music that I have playing today is called Pleiadian music, so maybe let's ask if the Pleiadians want to come through as we pull some cards. Thank you very much for your donation, Eric. That is kindly appreciated. Elisa says, for years I have debated on leaving my relationship, but for a million reasons I couldn't. It's interesting that at this point, with everything happening in the sky, it feels like the right time. You're allowing yourself to be led. You are surrendering to the universe. Doing so, like, is scary, right? Because in the past, if we've surrendered, if we've given up our control, and things hit the fan, it was probably because we gave up our control with an underlying emotion of fear. Like, all right, you can take control. I'm waiting for everything to go to shit, and then it does, and then of course you're like, oh, that's why I need to control everything, because I wouldn't have let that happen, and blah blah blah. But that's the trick. That's the hard part of surrender, is you gotta surrender and just trust, you know, no second guessing. Can't really question a whole lot of like why, you know. You can question what is the best, what is the action that will serve me right now. But if you're questioning, like, why is this happening? Why am I ending my relationship? Why am I having to sell my house right now? You know, why? That's the fear, is the mind wanting to control and understand everything that's happening. The energies that provide for us are beyond our comprehension. So if you try to understand it, you're just going to spiral yourself into more fear and more closed energy. Helen, Barbara Masiniak's kind of music. Pleiadian. You know, Helen, you told me about Barbara Masiniak a long time ago, and I just have never gotten around to listening to her stuff. It's just not the right time. Helen, are we continuing to forget that we have created our experiences? Yes. Yes, we are. Everything that happens to you guys, we chose it. We chose it. We signed soul contracts on our way in here. We chose it because we knew that we could handle it. Elisa, I think that's the real surrender point, is not asking why and just leaning into the feeling that's leading you. Yep. I don't know why, but this is happening, and I trust that it is for my highest good. I trust that I have the skills within me to come to my highest. And yeah. Helen, our deep self knows what they are doing, really. She'll be around till you hear her. She's been channeling Pleiadians for 20-some years. Yes, I know. I just know it's not the right time right now. So, with this Capricorn energy, I was looking at my decks, and this deck to me feels like my no BS deck. This is like my father Saturn deck. This is the concrete, earthy energy. Just, you want a message? Here's a message. There's not too much to think about. So we're going to pull today from Ask Your Guides. The way that I run my readings is that I do group readings, so feel free to send your energy into this deck, however that feels for you. And I'm going to allow 3 cards to fall out for us. So let's ask the universe today just what messages we need to hear as we start this new path. This Capricorn new moon, right? Large new beginnings. We have 5 planets in Capricorn right now supporting us. So as we plan this new path ahead, what are the messages that would bring us to our highest timeline with ease? Eric, I'm ending the year... Sorry, my cards went everywhere. I'm ending the year with a lot of exciting uncertainty. I love exciting uncertainty. That's my favorite. All things pointing toward growth, but no clarity which paths. It's all good, but damn, carrying all of this uncertainty in my backpack is heavy. Seeking help to rest. I love it, Eric, and I love that you're calling it exciting uncertainty, because I was just talking to my friend about that yesterday. You never know, right? That was the theme that came up. You never know. And it was coming out with a fear, you know, like, you never know what's going to happen. You never know. But then I was doing my Jacqui thing, and I was like, yeah, you never know. You know, we have this pattern of what if it's the worst case scenario? You know, what if I make this choice and then I lose all my money? What if I end up lonely forever? Why not? What if this is the best thing that I've ever chosen to do? Why not? What if this decision is the one decision that I need in order to live my best life? I gotta stop rambling today. I want to get through these cards. All right, so I'm going to show you the backs of the 3 cards. They're all going to look the exact same. Christine, thank you very kindly for your donation. But I invite you to tune into your physical senses. That's how your guides speak to you, through clairs, right? So through your clairvoyance, you might see a light, you might, you know, your screen might freeze, just anything that happens during the time I hold the card up, that's your guide saying, like, hey, pay attention to that message. Here's the card, or here's the back of card number 1. Here's the back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. Oh, Christine, I don't know how that coconut got there. I love it. Anyone else feeling goofy today? I'll show them once again. Don't second guess yourself, but just in case, here's the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. All right, let's see. Jennifer's working with 1, 2, and 3 in that order. I love it. Rev is working with 3. Okay, 2 for heart expansion. Rev's not seeing comments. Interesting. Went out and in 3 times. Interesting. I hope that gets fixed. Yes, but we also have the opportunity to savor anticipation of the excitement. Yes, Eric. Yes. Allow yourself to have that gut feeling. Christine's working with 1 and 2. Eric knows his card is coming. What did you say with the coconut, Christine? I completely shut it all down and now they're back. So I think that means that the app is going coconuts. Jackie's working with 2, Christine 1 and 3, Bonnie 2, Jenny 2, Helen 2, Bridget 1, Nicole 1 and 3, Jenny also 3. Kim's working with 2, Christine 1, Lima with 2. Christine had a flash of light for 3. Eric, my grate went shallow. My card went shallow? I think you're having that same mental combobulation that I've been experiencing. If you think it's a sign, it's a sign. All of the time. If you think it's a sign, it's a sign. Robin's feeling 1 and 3. Katie 1 had signs both times. Okay, 1, reflection on the water. 2, felt like I couldn't look at it. Ooh, interesting. And 3, the stars in the bottom look like hands holding them on the bottom. 4 of Cups vibes, being handed all you've ever dreamed of. I love that. Helen started to pick 3 and then at last minute switched to 2. Let's see what that's all about. Okay, just having to see it in the form it's in, not what you think it should be. I like it. I'm just communicating telepathically with everyone. That's good, Bonnie. My breath went shallow with card 2. Interesting. So yeah, I would take that as a sign. I think everything's a sign. You can choose to live as if everything is a miracle or nothing is a miracle. Is that Einstein? I don't know. If card number 1 is resonating with you today, your guardian angel, Michael, is here. Card number 16, and the message is self-esteem. Sorry, Elisa, that came through as I already started reading. You'll know. Maybe this is all for you today. The keywords for this card are integrity, self-expression, boundaries, and convictions. You may feel like the odd man out right now, as others may not fully appreciate or support your ideas and perspectives. In fact, you might be feeling discounted altogether. Fortunately, the guardian angel Michael is present to help you remain grounded and centered, even in such times of being challenged or misunderstood. He counsels you to remain true to yourself and steadfast in your convictions, even if they aren't shared by those around you. Yes, it can be scary to go against the crowd and stand up for what you believe in, especially when it's unpopular or possibly ahead of its time. But Michael stands by you and reminds you that this is part of becoming a spiritually mature soul. He helps you ignore popular opinion and stay true to your heart. Don't seek approval or doubt yourself when you don't receive it. Instead, Michael encourages you to stand in your full spiritual adulthood and claim your self-esteem by trusting what you feel and believe in. Do not abandon yourself to win approval in the moment, and don't be afraid to take a stand. After all, this is how you'll become the true leader of your own life. I feel like that hit a lot of you guys hard, especially in this new moon time, right? This in planning ahead, right? So if you have these ideas for yourself in the future, but you're worried like, I can't do that because people are going to think I'm weird. People are going to disagree with what I'm doing. They're not going to support me. Yeah, Archangel Michael says, no, it's okay. This card reminds me of, it reminded me of two things, and I wanted to say the second one first. What was the second one? I can't remember. However, so it reminds me of my dad, who was a rising Aquarius just like me. So when you first meet him, you're like, man, that guy's super weird, but I like him. And his thing was always that it was fashion. He would come up with a new trend, like a new fashion trend, and then 3 years down the line, that would be the new thing. And that was exactly this self-esteem, right? A lot of people can get into their heads like, ooh, should I wear this? Is that weird? Is that in season? Is someone gonna think about what I'm wearing today? And this is something small. It's clothing, it's not the whole thing. But he would just wear whatever he felt like wearing because he wanted to do it. And then eventually, like just by him having that confidence, like, yeah, look what I'm wearing, everyone else would start to wear it. And whatever, it's funny. He was adorable. Your dad brought us flannel, maybe he did. Christine, same, Aqua Sun. Lima, yes, that was card number 1. Christine, integrity, self-expression, and convictions. This is so perfect, says Jennifer, my winter solstice lesson. Bridget, this really resonated. Thanks so much. Michael is a significant name and keeps popping up as well. Someone's trying to tell you something. I love it. So especially, this just reminds me of Aquarius energy in general. Walking to the beat of your own drum, not really caring what other people think of you. That's like the biggest freedom in this world, right? If we always act from integrity and we always act from a place of love, who cares what anyone else thinks about what you're doing? Most of their judgments come from their own shadows and insecurities. So even if you are doing the most soul-aligned, best thing you could for humanity and people are shaking their finger at you, telling you that you should be doing it a different way, that's just because they are uncomfortable with your light, with your ambition and your willingness to do what you know is best for you. So that card gives us some permission to not be afraid to say what you want to say. Do what you want to do. You don't need permission from anyone. Helen says, you're such a maverick, Jacqui. Thank you. That's actually, so I think this is what the other thing that I wanted to say is, but I mentioned on Wednesday I got in an argument with my husband. It was because I was trying to be a maverick and he was like trying to give me permission for something. I'm like, I don't need your permission. I'm my own person. I make my own choices. Yeah. And just do it. Just go ahead. They're also thinking whatever they are from their level of awareness. Yes. Yes. So when people poo-poo on your ideas, they oftentimes, like, especially, I'm not trying to say that we're like better than anyone else, but like if you're here on Insight Timer, you've been putting in self-work. You're spending time meditating. You're spending time thinking about the esoteric, the metaphysical. It's just a different way of viewing life. It's just different. Okay. It's not better. It's not worse. You are on your level. People in the world are on their level. Just as we might not understand their choices through their perspective, oftentimes people do not understand your choices from your perspective. It's just a clash. Go where you want to go, do what you want to do with whoever you want to do it with. Name that tune. It's not on the tip of my tongue right now, Helen. Maybe someone in the comments can let us know. Number 2, card number 2, brings us a message from our inner child. I love it, Eric. We are on our level. I felt so lucky to so easily meet my people on Insight Timer. I love it. So card number 42 brings us the message of intuition from our inner child. The keywords for this card are instinct, invention, trust, and impulses. The door to your inner child is opening, and as he or she walks through, they bring the gift of intuition. You may not be entirely comfortable with this newfound source of insight, and may not know exactly what to do with it. However, don't toss it aside and try to analyze it to death. Instead, accept this gift and play with it. Apply your intuition to non-threatening situations and learn how it works. Don't try to control it because you can't. It's exciting and powerful and is to be respected and followed, not tamed. Trust your inner child's willingness to share its magic so that you may benefit. The message for you is, trust me. The deeper message that's coming through this card is off base with the message from the book, but that's okay. I hope that you resonated with the messages from the book. What this is saying to me for the new moon in Capricorn, how would your inner child, how would your child self, how would, and when I think about my child self, I like to think about the most happy version of my childhood, the most playful version of my child. Ooh, I like that, Bonnie. How would, so whatever it is that you want to start, right? That might be a little bit off the beaten path, and you might be afraid to do something that you might get judged for. What do kids want to do? They want to change the world and they want to love more. Kids are always just loving until they come across situations that cause them pain, and then they become human beings. But like, the essence of a child is always just like, why is that person doing bad things? I don't understand why they're acting from hate, like they just want to bring love into this world. So connecting with your intuition, connecting with your inner child, you can always run your ideas by your inner child. Like, I'm trying to think of a thing. If you think that like you're going to get judged for whatever it is you're about to do, go inside. Think of yourself as if you're 4 years old, like, what do you think about this idea? Do you think that this would be good for people? Do you think that this would help the world? Most of the time you're going to get an affirmation, right? Trust your intuition. Christine says, I love your interpretations, Jackie. It truly helps me to understand and clarify, if that makes sense. Beautiful. Yeah, that's why I blab. I have a difficult time being my own person, shining my own light. So do I sometimes. Like, it's not about being perfect 100% of the time. It's about working on yourself, taking the steps to grow. I love it, Christine. Eric says, my inner child has been trapped for decades. He hasn't played in 40 years. Could you imagine if when you were 4 years old, someone looked at you and they said, you're going to take a 40-year break from playing? Like, how upset would that make someone? It's, gift it to yourself. Gift that play to yourself. Okay, Bonnie, love this card. There's a corridor in the middle from the back to front and front to back. Beautiful. Kay says, I had some stuff come up yesterday that I need to rebuild my relationship with her and help her to come to me with her needs and concerns. Not looking to her parents for the approval. She searched for her entire life at the expense of what she really felt. Beautiful, Kay. Beautiful, Kay. Helen, child energy, total innocent, loving energy, willing to take risks, explore, see things with new eyes. Yes, 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 yes. Eric says, what a gift. I'm struggling to open up to beautiful pleasures in the world and allowing my inner child to explore and taste. Love it. Love it. Jacqui, I appreciate the positive spin on the inner child. I always think of it as the shadow work, but the happiest part can work for me too. Yes, Jacqui, yes. Because I do, you know, like I know that I teach about healing your inner child, you know, like meeting your inner child at their darkest time and helping them through it. But everything has light and shadow, you know? You get it. It's my gift of perfectionism that keeps me doubting. Oh, Christine, we have some things to talk about when I read your chart. I love it. Bonnie says, Eric signed up for the Akashic Records with Jacqui during her sale. That is right. Thanks for the reminder, Bonnie. All of next week, it was this week, and then next week, all of my services are 50% off, taking some holiday time to experience self-love. So you can check out my website. It's in my Insight Timer profile. And then let me know if you have any questions. Wade, it is never too late to have a happy childhood. I think so many of us need to hear that. That sunk my heart when I read it. So thank you. Eric, that happened to me when I was 4. I was torn from my home and had to become an adult. Yeah, that's the beauty of inner child work, all that stuff. Like, even like, it doesn't change the fact that you had that experience, but it can manipulate the emotion behind all of it to your benefit. You know, like, it can change the way you view those situations. At least I used to dance all the time when I was a kid, and I felt the universe telling me to find joy I felt as a kid and just dance. Wednesdays at this time, so Wednesdays like right after my sessions, come dance with us. Katrina Boss has an ecstatic dance here on Insight Timer, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful. All right. I'm just skimming. Carmina, growing up, my sister and I used to laugh at everything. Our miserable mother used to yell at us for it, so I learned to equate joy with being yelled at. Identification is the first step. Now you can choose to reverse it. I love it. Aw, thank you, Helen and Bonnie and Eric. Excited to work with you. All right, card number 3. Card number 26 from our creativity guides comes Invention. This is a good card for new beginnings. The keywords are adaptation, adjustment, transformation, and challenge. Sometimes life gives you lemons, but not to worry. Your creativity guides are on hand, helping you transform your lemons into lemonade. No matter who you are or what circumstances you've inherited, life is always a blend of both the positive and the negative. Your creativity guides urge you to be grateful for the pulses of your life and to be creative with the negatives. They'll help you to use your inventiveness to transform any adverse situation into one for the better. So rather than dwell on your lousy childhood, true though it may have been, appreciate the courage it developed in you and use it to change the unsupportive past into a self-reliant present. Rather than endure an unfulfilling job, be resourceful and start the business you've dreamt of for years. This is not to deny the pain in your life, but to use it as an incentive to move to higher ground. Allow your creativity guides to serve you. They're not afraid of the lemons you encounter in life. Gather their juice as fuel to invent much better circumstances, and ask them for inspiration and ideas. They have plenty to share. Their message: when you get lemons, make lemonade. I mean, come on, like that could not have been a better way to sum all of this up. Acknowledge the pain, right? It's there. We can't change the situations that happened. We can't change the choices we've made in the past. We can't change how people have treated us in the past. Just like we can't change the tartness and the sourness of lemons. You know, you can't change the lemon, but you can use the lemon and alchemize, right? Bring in some sugar and some water and make it sweet. Turn a lemon into lemonade. You know, this is the most cohesive reading for today. Everything just came together. Absolutely. Let me see what you guys are saying about card number 3. Hello, Cass. Welcome. Carmen says you don't know how to reverse it, and Helen says you don't need to reverse it. You'll be creating new pathways. That's right. You don't reverse the lemon. You don't take the lemon back to the store and pick up an orange instead. You take what you have. I mean, here we go. New Moon Capricorn, earth energy, material. You take what you have, creating with what you have. If your starting point is a childhood full of pain and self-limiting beliefs, it just is. You know, like it did suck. It doesn't have to suck. It just is. This is what I had. Then thinking about, okay, well, what can I mix with that? Well, what lessons did I learn from that? How resilient am I because of all these troubles I've been through? How MacGyver, like what word do I want to use for that? How innovative am I because of the situations that I was presented with? You know, like how creative have I gotten having to learn some basic survival skills? You know, it again, removing the labels. It wasn't a bad situation. It happened. It caused me to feel abandoned, neglected. It caused me to feel all of these unwanted feelings. But that doesn't mean that the rest of your life needs to have that flavor of neglect, abandonment, sadness. You know, it's a hard lesson to learn because we are so connected to our emotions, but there is a way through it. Christine, yes, card 3 is right on. Thank you. You're welcome. Eric, thank you, universe, for bringing me here right now. Jackie, thanks for being such a playful, goofy, fun channel. Happy new moon, everyone. Goodbye, Eric. Thank you, Christine, for your donation. Very much appreciated. Okay, that was then. This is now. Yes, and oftentimes things hit harder because you didn't have the consciousness that you have now. I know I experienced that a lot. Even I was talking, you know, about reading my old journal entries on the solstice. Things hit me harder, so then I reacted in a different way, which then would cause more things to come and negatively impact me. You know, it's all a cycle, so just be proud of your growth. I want to pull a culminating card. We're at an hour, but I'm going to pull one more card. That was our Saturn basic reading, like the no BS deck. So have some self-esteem, have the courage to walk down the path that not everyone else is walking. Don't follow the crowd because they're all lost. If someone is following another and not thinking for themselves and just following the status quo, they have no idea what they want. Let me just say that. If someone is just going along with, yep, this is what everyone says is good, so I'm gonna do it, don't follow that person because they are a follower. Trust your intuition, and also check in with your inner child to validate yourself. You know, if you're starting to question, is this really the path that I want to take? Is this really the new beginning that I want to start? Just ask yourself, ask your inner child, ask the happiest version of yourself. Like, hey, is this how you wanted to change the world? Put yourself in your shoes 40 years ago, however old you are, in like the happiest version of your little self, and like run these ideas by them and just see how they respond to it, you know? Use our imagination is visualization, is creation. And then take all of that. This is the alchemy card, man. And this is exactly with Chiron stationing direct, turning your pain into healing. Alchemize your life. Take the ingredients that you have available to you. Choose to make something beautiful with it, because you have the power. We all have the power. Katie, this is my first live with you, and the universe absolutely led me here. Well, thanks for being here, Katie. I like to be here as often as I can. All right, so I'm going to pull one final culminating card from a more playful deck. We're going to ask how to work our light with Rebecca Campbell. So this is a little more woo-woo, extraterrestrial, whatever. So let's just intend to wrap up the reading and see what message would serve us best before we depart. So if you guys have been enjoying today's reading, if you would like to offer an energy exchange in the form of a donation, those are always appreciated, never expected. And if you haven't followed me on Insight Timer, feel free to give us a follow. Us, I guess, me and my guides, that just came out. If you'd like to work one-on-one with me, I did mention that all of my services are 50% off for the end of the year. So I offer tarot and oracle readings, I offer Reiki healing sessions, Akashic Records readings, and I'm forgetting something. Check out my website. I have a blank mind right now. Astrology charts. That's the other thing that I do. And also, so I have an astrology course here on Insight Timer if you'd like to learn a little bit more about basic astrology. Got a good card. And that's it. We can talk about our spiritual community. You can join my group here on Insight Timer, where I put updates of the readings that I do in my group if you need time to digest them. I put all of these videos on YouTube. And I have a women's retreat coming up, so you can find information about the women's retreat in the beautiful, energetic, planetary month of March next year. It's in Kentucky. Jackie says Reiki with Jackie is amazing. Thank you, Jackie. Okay, yes, this deck is ethereal. So how do we wrap this up? Our guides want us to know that we are in the Great Gathering. It's all coming together. Intuitive hits, your soul tribe. You are being called to let your intuition move you physically. You don't say. You are connected to a group of souls who are weaving a web around the planet. And as you travel and share your creations, something is rethreaded. This card is an acknowledgement that you are either being called to connect with others who are like you at a soul level, or that you already are. You are being called to gather groups of people, either by leading them or by becoming part of a group that can support you and your soul's personal mission. You are part of a group of souls who agreed to be here at this time in history to heal yourself, your ancestral line, and the planet. To raise consciousness so that we can continue to call this magnificent place home for eras to come. One of many consciously choosing to devote your life to something greater than yourself. It's time to call in your tribe by sharing your soul's voice and letting yourself be seen. When you share what is real and true to you, and you share the medicine that you need the most, those who are like you will gather around you. You are your tribe. They are just like you. And as long as you are longing and searching for them, they are longing and searching for you too. Shazam. Jennifer had this card Tuesday at another reading. This card came up for me either earlier this week or last week. Yeah, you are a unique puzzle piece, and it takes every single piece of the puzzle to create the whole thing, you know? Everyone has their part. This card made me think of when I didn't have the self-esteem that I have now regarding astrology and woo-woo stuff. Years ago, Jacqui would be at home reading about astrology. It made so much sense, but everyone's gonna think I'm nuts if I say that the planets affect our energies. People might stop talking to me, you know, like people might not understand what I'm talking about. And I was kind of living in the darkness with it. I knew that I enjoyed it, but I never talked about it. I never, you know, said anything about it. Then, it was a whole thing why I decided to start talking about it, but for my own reason, in my own path, I had a revelation of why it's okay to start talking and sharing this stuff. And as I did that, I just put my vibration out into the universe. I stopped trying to vibrate how the norm is vibrating. And I said, well, I like this, so I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to research it, and I'm just going to dive into it. And then I started finding other people who like astrology. And then from those people, I learned about tarot and meditation and Reiki and healing and all this stuff. And it was just because I decided to put my own vibration out there. And now, like, this is the first time in my life that I have friends that I enjoy talking to. That might sound weird, but like, before I was this authentic version of myself. I just like did the robot life. Like, ooh, I'm just doing this because this is what everyone does. You know, like, I'm in a relationship, so I should have friends that are also couples so that we can talk about how much we don't like our boyfriends. And like, it was so surface level. I knew, you know, like I had an inkling about what I like, and I was also trying to like push it down. Like, no, that's weird. Like, why? No one will talk to you about that kind of stuff. And then I just started talking about it, and then yeah, Christine says someone thought that you were crazy talking about astrology. Cool. Let them live their life. Like, they don't have to have an impact on you, you know? Some people do think I'm crazy. A lot of my family thinks I'm crazy, and that's fine, you know, like that's their life. I found you guys. I found people around me who agree with the things that I say, and they think the way that I think. And it's not about only surrounding you know, it's not about being in your bubble. It's not about only listening to people who share the same opinions as you and only talking to those people. But what I'm saying is that this helped bring that type of energy into my life. There are plenty of people who have opposite views as I do, who have opposite opinions about how the world works and why we're here and all that stuff, and that's cool, you know. I talk to them, I listen to them, we can have conversations. That's a whole nother rant. But what this did was introduce my tribe into my life that I never had before, and I feel like I have such many more meaningful connections with people. I don't have a lot of friends. I don't need a lot of friends. The friends that I do have fill so much of my heart, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's time to find your tribe, the Great Gathering. We're all here. Let me see what you guys were talking about. Jenny, I heard you will never feel completely ready. So why wait? Yes, I like that. I like that. Oh, Poppycock, Helen, you're stealing my word again. I'm just kidding. That's what they say when I reveal aliens talk with me. That was another, challenge, right? I told you guys earlier this year I met an alien at a bar. It was this whole situation. A guy channeled an Anunnaki alien, and he told me so many things. And then I told my husband, because he was like, okay, you're crazy, Jacqui, but all right, whatever. And then after that, I was like, who do I tell about this? Like, I need to share this. I need to get other people's bounce back about this. And you know what happened? That next day, I talked to 3 people about it, and every single one of them came back with, oh yeah, I met an alien before. Oh yeah, a guy that I used to date was an alien. Like, get rid of your fear. Just be yourself. Just be. Bridget, I can't thank you enough. This really hits home. So happy to hear, Bridget. I love it. Yes, Helen, we have found our tribe. Jacqui says, you go, Christine. You just keep talking. You just keep telling people your truth. Well, you are crazy, Jacqui, just like the rest of us. And that's fine. I will embrace being crazy because I'm happy and life makes sense to me. And it's going well for me. So I'll be crazy. Yes, 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 yes. Aliens are everywhere. I want to know more about this alien encounter. Oh, I've told the story a handful of times. Long story short, I was at a bar with my friends, right? So we had been drinking. We weren't like wasted, but you know, when you drink, your vibration goes down. This random 50-something-year-old guy approached me and my friends, very charismatic, very polite, and you know, like wanted to, you know, be friends with him. He wasn't weird. And he was just like chatting with me and my friends. And then in the conversation, so this is what I do when I meet new people. I said, "Are you a Sagittarius?" He was like, "Yeah." "How did you know?" And I was like, I just know. And then he asked when his birthday was. And I've never done this before, but I was like, okay, well, I just know that you're a December Sagittarius. Like, I can just tell. He said yes. And then it was a download, and I knew that his birthday was the 17th. And so I said December 17th, and he was like flabbergasted, like, what? Long story, it was confirmed later with evidence that yes, it was December 17th. So, in the moment, I didn't realize it, but I believe that I was channeled that information in order to make a connection with this man. So that happened, other stuff. And then throughout the night, like, he would talk to his friends, and then he would come back and talk to us, and it was just like a bouncing back and forth, whatever. He was fairly intoxicated. He could speak coherently, but he was fairly intoxicated. And then at one point, I was sitting at a table by myself, and he came up to me and just locked eyes, hardcore, and he was just going. I am an Anunnaki. I am here from the planet Nibiru. My planet comes around. It orbits every 3,600 years. He kept saying something about a binaural sun, a binaural planet. I don't remember the exact words because I also had a few beers at the time. He said that his people are controlling Earth and that they're using humans as slaves to harvest gold because gold is what the Anunnaki use to heat their sun. And then he ended it with a little bit of like, but don't worry, if we like you, we'll take you back with us. And it was kind of like that, yeah, but you're cool, so we'll save you, you know? It was just very, very interesting. I had no fear. I had no judgment also in the time. I was like honored to be given this information. He was telling me all this stuff and I was just like, oh, cool. Like, tell me more. I was in that just like sucking information time. So then that conversation ended and I went back to my husband, and I can't remember if I told him in the moment. I probably did because I have a really hard time holding things in like that. But then the guy was somewhere else, and so I went back up to him and I was like, hey, I forgot where you said you were from. Where did you say you were from? And then he named a town that's in our area, and he looked so confused. And that's when I was like, okay, was this guy messing with me? Or at that point, like, that's all I had. So then I texted one of my friends all of it because I didn't want to forget any details. So I sent her this text, went home, went to bed. The next morning, then I hopped on Google and I was looking up for like aliens with a binaural sun, binaural planet, harvesting gold, 3,600 years. And then the Anunnaki information came and it hit me like a ton of bricks. And everything that he said, lined up with everything that I was reading on the internet, and I was like, duh. And I went through this whole day. That's why I wanted to talk to people about it, because I was like, did this guy just do a bunch of research on the Anunnaki and he was spitting it out at me, or whatever. And yeah, so that's my alien experience. I should go, but I shouldn't do anything, but I do have things to do. I'm enjoying this today. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I can stick around for a couple minutes if you have anything. Aliens do indeed lock eyes when we talk. Those reptilians only need to take the lower vibe, peeps. No messing with you. Aliens have to use people to deliver messages. Yeah, so I was very confused. Like, is this guy an alien and just like shape-shifting? That could be it also. I've always, like, I think this happened in like February or March. It was March. I just kind of assumed that he was drunk, so your vibration is lowered, and that's when spirits are able to come in and use your body. That's why they call alcohol spirits. Yeah. But I did, like, about a month before that, within that winter time, I remember I was watching a documentary about aliens, and people were describing their experiences and being, like, taken onto ships and all this stuff, and I was watching, and it was like blowing my mind. And I remember that I paused the documentary and I looked up and I was like, I volunteer. you can talk to me, like, you can show yourself. And then a month later this thing happened. So there's manifestation for you guys. Give it a shot. Helen, I mean, do you really think there aren't enough jokes? I walked into a bar and there was an alien. Kara, wow, thank you for sharing. I love hearing people's experiences with the extraterrestrial. They all have some similar messages. Interesting. The main is that they're real and they're here. Yes, they are. It's naive to think that we are the only life form. If we know that energy is so powerful, and if we know that we have spirit guides, and we have angels, and we have, like, ancestors, and the energy. Oh, Jackie, that was a long pause. That was because I was trying to think of where to take this conversation. Christine, I know I am crazy. I embrace that. Divine Feminine, man. Divine Feminine is wild. Unleashed. Unhinged. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Katie. What a wonderful soul tribe. Yeah, there have to be other life forms here. I also don't think that the planets are what they say that they are. If, like, how, I don't know. Do satellites really go that far? How do we know what Pluto is made up of? Have we ever been there? Or are they just, like, saying? I believe that the planets are energy. I don't believe that planets are a place. If that makes sense. And that's based off of, that's based off of experiences that I've had in meditations, based off of information that I've gathered from around my life, and based off of just my eyeballs looking at the sky. Yeah, we're all crazy, Helen. Okay, I'm always telling my son the weird ones are the best friends to have. They're authentic. They're not just doing what everyone's doing because everyone's doing it. Like, that's how you... The weird ones are the ones that create the most in this world. I wish my dad was still alive, Jackie. He would love listening to you, and he'd agree with all of this. Likewise. Yeah, my dad would get a hoot out of everything I'm doing. Helen says, okay, Jackie, now we will have to have another retreat about aliens and planets. Oh, Helen, yeah, your dad knows this now. Yeah, he's left his human body. He's aware. He's been in the place where we all learn all of these truths, and yeah. Yes, yes. Well, enjoy your new moon. Enjoy Chiron direct. Enjoy your holiday weekend. We got Christmas Eve tomorrow, Christmas on Sunday. If you celebrate, enjoy it. If you don't celebrate, enjoy it. If things aren't working out how you hoped that they worked out this season, I know that holidays bring up a lot of emotions in people. It's okay. I know it sucks, but it doesn't need to be the big commercial holiday that everyone makes it out to be. Just enjoy your time. Do something for you. Take care of yourself a little bit. Self-love. We are all a little mad here. Yeah, you're either crazy for doing your own thing or crazy for doing what everyone else is doing. Merry Christmas! I will see you guys only one time next week. I'm on winter break from teaching and I would like to take a break a little bit. So I'll be back on Thursday to talk about Mercury retrograde. So you're in the clear until Thursday, at least. Make your plans for 2023. Maybe do that journaling experience that we talked about, writing a journal entry as if it is the end of 2023, writing about how grateful you are for everything that you have. Don't doubt yourself. Let it go. Just let all of your wildest desires come out on paper. Like, what's the worst that can happen? You might manifest some of them. Oops. Helen, if you have a need to get away from the holidays, look at Jacqui's YouTube, brush up or catch up on all the good info. Thanks, Helen. Yeah, you can watch all these replays on my YouTube channel. They go way back. Oh, and this month I'm celebrating 1 year as a teacher on Insight Timer. So thanks to all of you guys who have been following me and hanging out with us and bringing your own unique sparkle into our tribe. It's been a hoot. It's been fun. It's been different. Things have changed, and I like that. I love when things change. I have that excited uncertainty all of the time. So, yeah, I'm excited to see where the next year takes me on Insight Timer and how many more people we can gather into this tribe to continue to raise the collective consciousness of humanity. Love to all. Thank you all for being here today. Namaste. Start the new thing. You don't need anyone's permission. Take care. I'll see you very soon.